What's up guys, Trilogy here. We're doing another video today. Today we're going to be doing a gaming video like every other video game channel. We're going to be doing our top 10 video games of the year. This is the year 2021. If you're from the future coming back and trying to see what was popping back then, thank you. This is Trilogy. Get it while it's fresh, get it while it's hot. We do gaming content on my channel, movie stuff, anime, D&D. Check out my latest Trilogy Talk podcast episode, link up above. We don't do sponsorships on here, so if you want to support the channel, I do have a link to my Patreon down below. If you want to support the channel, you can donate. You could just do whatever, man. Whatever. We're still building the channel. It's really young, trying to build up an audience. But yeah, I'm Trilogy. Let's get into it. Starting at number 10, the 10th best game of 2021, in my opinion, is going to be the Mass Effect Legendary Edition. This one is kind of tough because I'm like, it came out in 2021, but it's like a remaster of some older games. So for this, you get the first three Mass Effect games. Doesn't include Andromeda, which, unpopular opinion, I liked Andromeda. I liked it. I can see why people wouldn't have liked it, but I liked Andromeda. I thought it was pretty cool. New environment, new galaxy, and I can see why they're going to kind of abandon it and do a Mass Effect 4 instead. But hey, you get the full package. I mean, it's more of it's not a remake, it's just a remaster of Mass Effect 2 and 3. Mass Effect 1, that one's kind of nice. Then they did a few different features that are different. This one is like almost a remake, but it's not quite a remake. But if you like, I mean, there's not much else to say. This kind of brief review is like 15 years old. Mass Effect came out so long ago. If you like great RPGs, you should definitely check out Mass Effect. Up next, we're going to be doing number 9. This is going to be Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. It's a PS5 exclusive. Beautiful game. This is the first game I got on my PS5. It looks amazing. Graphics look amazing. The portal transportation is instantaneous. The story is good. Ratchet and Clank have developed so much in the last 15, 20 years as characters. And it was nice to see the other freaking fox creature. I forget her name. I was going to say the Lorax, but that's not what he is. This game is really nice. Story is pretty good. I definitely would put it above Mass Effect, not only in the terms of story and animation and everything, but this game is actually a brand new game, and it really shows you what the PS5 can do. Up next, we're going to be putting Hades, which is a roguelite. And trust me, I hate roguelites as much as the next guy, but Hades is kind of built different in the aspect of when you die in Hades, you don't lose all of your upgrades. So it's one of those reoccurring roguelikes where you can upgrade stuff and those upgrades kind of return to you. And surprisingly, as much as I hate roguelites, there's actually 2 of them on this list, and this is just the first one. There was one that I liked a little bit better than Hades. The story actually progresses each time you die in Hades. It had the Greek mythology, which I love Greek mythology, so they got me with that. And then the animation was really good. I love the art style in this game. Shout out Carlos. If you're watching this, Carlos really put me on to Hades, and he loves that game. Like, he'll play it on everything. That boy got that thing on every console. I think it's good. Not as good as Carlos, though. And I have yet to beat it. And you know what? I give up. I can't beat the game. I can't beat the game. But I can still respect it for what it is. Hades is going to be our number 8 pick. Up next is going to be Tabs, totally accurate battle simulator, which, I mean, it's not a story game. It's literally what it is. It's a battle simulator where you can take troops from different eras and you can basically convey them, and you can do multiplayer. There's not a story. It's like a campaign, basically. Literally a campaign. There's no story to it. Like if you ever played Stick Wars, that campaign had more story than this, actually. So shout out Stick Wars. That was a classic back in the day. But yeah, Tabs is really good. I like the animation on here. Don't take it too seriously. If you have an Xbox, it's on Game Pass, and it's also on PC. I don't know if it's on PlayStation. But yeah, just recap. Mass Effect is on pretty much every console. Ratchet and Clank, that's a PS5 exclusive. Hades is pretty much on everything, even the Switch. And Tabs, I believe it's PC and Microsoft only. I haven't heard anything about it on PS5, but I could be wrong. Up next, we're going to be number 6. That's going to be Halo Infinite. I liked the multiplayer when it first came out, and I'll admit I haven't finished this one. The campaign, I haven't finished it because it literally just came out like the other day. But from what I've played of both, I think this is really good, and that's why I can't put it any higher than 6. I know a lot of other game pages, like I did a little bit of research, see what other people were ranking stuff. A lot of people put this as #1, and it might deserve to be #1, but I just haven't played enough of this to put it at any higher than where we're at right now. From what I've played, it's good, but I personally am not the biggest Halo fan. I like the older ones. I think Reach was the last one that I finished all the way through, and I've started all the ones after that, but I've never finished them. But I've always played the multiplayer and stuff like that. I have a couple shorts on the channel of me getting blown up and looking like an idiot, but that's just how it goes sometimes. Up next for #5, we're at our halfway point. We're going to be doing Resident Evil Village, which is on PlayStation and Xbox. I had it on the PS5. It's one of the first ones that I had on my PS5 because I didn't have my Series X yet. This game is really good. I don't care what people say. This is probably my favorite Resident Evil Village game. My favorite Resident Evil game. And I'll admit, it's not as scary as the other ones, which is probably why I can handle it, because I'm not the best with scary stuff. I like scary movies, but when you're watching a scary movie, everything's out of your control. You're a spectator. Whereas when you're playing a scary video game, it's you. They're coming for you. And you're not an audience member or spectating. You are the character in the game. And everything happening is happening to you, and it just feels so much real, and that's why I cannot do too many scary games. But when I thought about it, I didn't think it would get this high, but Resident Evil Village, I put this at my #5 spot. Up next, and this is a return to form, we're going to be putting Far Cry 6. I was not a fan of Far Cry 5, but I loved Far Cry 4, and I absolutely adore Far Cry Primal. The caveman one, I'll go to bat for that one all day. I messed with Far Cry Primal. Far Cry 6, this is another one I haven't finished. This fall season is really where video games just come out, you know? They come out left and right. But based off of what I've played, I think I enjoy it much more than everything else that's come before. I like this character. Well, actually, Denny, the main character, she's actually kind of boring to me. But the setting that she's in is really good. The graphics are really good. I like having a pet crocodile. If you want to hear more about that, I've actually done a Far Cry 6 review up above. I'll link it. You should definitely check it out. Whew. When I do these longer videos where I'm talking a lot, I should definitely have like a drink ready. I had like a Gatorade, but it's gone. Anyways, up next we're going to our top 3. Before we go any further, I just want to say, if you've enjoyed this video, if you've gotten any games that you want to try, I'm Trilogy. Like I said, you should definitely subscribe to the channel if you want to support. You don't have to donate money or anything like that. I just really want to get to 1,000 subscribers, monetize the channel. I want to build a community, put more information out for you guys. And yeah, just subscribe, comment down below what your favorite video game of the year is. And let's get into #3. #3 is going to be Returnal. This is going to be another PS5 exclusive. Seems to be a trend. The PlayStation has always been really good with exclusives. We've had Ratchet & Clank on this list. We've had Returnal on this list. And this is another roguelike. And the atmosphere is totally different than Hades. It's totally different. This is more 3D. You crash on a planet, and basically you're stuck in a time loop. Every time you die, you end up back on this planet, and you kind of like Hades, you can unlock stuff and stuff like that, and you can respawn with more information. It's basically it's a puzzle, and the world is procedurally generated, just like in Hades. So each room is kind of different. You have a map, and I love the atmosphere of this game. If this wasn't a roguelike and whenever you die, you didn't have to start all the way over, this probably might be my favorite game of the year. But that aspect of it, when you die, you have to start all the way over, even if you get to the next realm and stuff like that. There's 3 realms, I believe. Biomes are what they're called. And also, it does lose some points for the ending. I'm not going to spoil it because I really want you to play this game, but the ending is kind of meh. But the combat and the mystery, once the mystery is unveiled, it kind of loses some of that. So I don't know if it has a lot of replay value. But the first time you play through this game, it's definitely an experience, and you should definitely check it out if you have a PlayStation 5, if you were lucky to get one, and you didn't have to pay a wazoo load of money. But yeah, Returnal is really good, kind of dark, kind of mysterious. And literally you're alone, whereas you're surrounded by a lot of allies, enemies, all kinds of people in Hades. Even when you die, you get to at least come back, talk to Cerberus, you could talk to Hades. And for our #2 spot, we're going to be having Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, I was really skeptical about this game. I actually had to wait for a sale, which I'm not ashamed of. Sometimes you got to wait for the sales. I got it for $30, which I feel like is pretty good. I don't think it was worth $60. Even though it is our number 2 game, I'll just tell you what, I feel like there aren't a lot of games that are worth $60, let alone $70, Sony. I'm looking at you. But yeah, this game is definitely good. It's just, the story is really good. The combat isn't horrible, but it's probably the weakest aspect of this game. Peter Quill, Star-Lord, he feels so weak. His guns are so weak, but you're supposed to be a leader in this game, and you're supposed to be sending Drax out there, send Gamora, send Groot, send Raccoon. You know, we got the Groons with us. We got the squad up, and basically you're the head man, and you're supposed to be directing everybody else. Meanwhile, which is cool. I mean, I never played a game like that where you as the main character isn't doing all the heavy lifting and pushing and turning these nods and building a bridge and all this other stuff. You just tell other people to do it, which is cool. It's just the combat, it feels a little weak when you as a character don't do a lot of the heavy lifting. You direct others to do that, and that's one thing I kind of don't like about this game. That's probably why I couldn't give it the number 1 spot. But the story is really compelling. This is made by the same people who made Marvel's Avengers. Okay, so need I say less? That's why I was skeptical. But this game is completely different. It's not full of paid cosmetics left and right. It's not a mess. The story is much better than Avengers, which is crazy considering that they had such a roster for Avengers. But on the other hand, it makes me think, so like, maybe they were able to build a better story with these characters because there's not the expectations of a reputation. You know what I'm saying? So everyone knows how Iron Man acts, now everyone knows how Thor acts. But with this game, since Guardians of the Galaxy, they've gained a little traction. I'll admit, I didn't know who they were before their movie, and I'm like a decent comic book fan. But because these characters are not as popular, you're able to mold something more specific with these characters for the story. And I think that definitely helped them along the way. I think this is a great game. I'm still playing it, like half of these games. And listen, if it's come out past November, I'm probably still working on it. On top of that, maybe even October, because on top of that, I like to wait for the sale sometimes. And, you know, maybe once you guys subscribe and I get monetized, I'll be able to afford more games. That helps me and you. So just go ahead and subscribe. Anyways, ready for number 1? Our number 1 game of the year, which I feel like this is kind of cheating, but it's going to be Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, which came to the Switch. I always liked this game. This is one of my favorite Mario games back on the Wii U. But really what we're here to talk about is Bowser's Fury. Yes, you can probably beat the whole game in 4 hours. Who cares? I mean, really, like, if you're beating it that fast, like, sheesh, you just have time. Because trust me, it gets much harder in the late game. It gets much harder. You're probably going like, and then it kind of evens out towards like the last hour. This game was really fun. I loved this game. This is probably one of my favorite Switch game in a while. Like, I have not played a Switch game this good in a very long time. And it's just, really, that's just it. I don't think I've been that enamored in a Switch game, besides maybe Pokemon Sword. But Pokemon is Pokemon. It's good, but it's never revolutionary, you know what I'm saying? It's Pokemon. And you could say the same thing. It's Mario. Mario is Mario. But this Mario, it's different. Like, when it starts raining, you're like, oh, crap. Bowser's about to come. And you're just like, I hope I'm in a position to get ready. And that man, Dragon Bowser, he just comes up and he's shooting the fire. You're just running for your life. Hopefully you can get to the Super Saiyan Mushroom. And that's just how it is. I really love Bowser's Fury. It's really good. It is definitely the Switch game of the year, in my opinion. Just like Returnal was probably the PlayStation 5 game of the year. As far as that goes, Microsoft doesn't really have exclusives like that. I guess I would have to give it to Halo Infinite, even though there are better games that I played on my Xbox. So, summary, we're going to give Switch Game of the Year to Bowser's Fury, Mario 3D World. Yes, sir. We're going to be giving PS5 Game of the Year to Returnal. Play that if you haven't, because I feel like it's not like a AAA big blazing game, but you should definitely play it if you haven't played it. And then we're going to be giving it Microsoft to Halo Infinite. Boom. That's the golden child. We would be surprised if Halo Infinite didn't get it. But overall, that's my game of the year. Those are my top 10. Like I said, I'm Trilogy. You should definitely check out more channels. I'm going to be doing a top 10 movie list. That one's going to be a little bit harder because, it was a light year for video games in my opinion, and I saw much more movies than I did played video games. So check that out. We're going to link it up above, but in the meantime, I'll catch you guys next time. Tune in for Trilogy Talk on Thursdays, and I'll see you next time.